Well, I won't back down. Well, I won't back down. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I stand my ground, and I won't back down.
The President of the United States of America, authorized by Act of Congress, has awarded in the name of Congress the Medal of Honor to Captain.
The sun had not yet risen when Captain Will Swenson and his men made their way into an Afghan village. That's when it happened.
We start receiving fire.
An ambush. Pinned down, Swenson returned fire for 90 minutes. His men hit. Sergeant First Class Kenneth Westbrook, bleeding from the neck, losing consciousness, bullets biting all around him. The enemy now so close, they called out for the Americans to surrender. Swenson ran to Westbrook, lobbing a grenade and carrying him the length of 2 football fields. A helmet cam captured the moments. That is Swenson, his helmet off, risking his life by being out in the open, using an orange tarp to guide the helicopter in. He helps Westbrook onto the helicopter, making sure he is secured, and then this. Watch. So quickly, so instinctively, Swenson gives Westbrook a tender kiss on his brow before racing back to the battle where he would help rescue others.
I wanted to convey to him that I was proud of him and that his fight was over. That was an act that shows that bond that every soldier, every sailor, every airman, and every Marine has with their fellow service member.
The story of Captain Swenson's heroism was lost for years in a tangle of Army bureaucracy. But what he did that day in one of the deadliest regions in Afghanistan, a place we have visited many times before, had to be recognized. The man Swenson helped to that helicopter would eventually die, but at the White House today, his family and the families of the others Captain Swenson tried to help were there to honor him. A soldier who risked everything for his brothers.
In a world that keeps on dragging me down, I will stand my ground, and I won't back down. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. Hey, I stand my ground, and I won't back down. Well, I know it's right. I got just one life in a world that keeps on pushing me around. I'll stand my ground, and I won't back down. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. Hey, I will stand my ground, and I won't back down.
Afghan soldiers and their American advisors are winding their way up a narrow trail towards a village to meet with elders. But just as the first soldier reaches the outskirts of the village, all hell breaks loose. Almost instantly, 4 Americans, 3 Marines, 1 Navy, at the front of the column are surrounded. Will and the soldiers in the center of the column are pinned down. Rocket-propelled grenades, mortar, machine gun fire, all of this is pouring in from 3 sides. As he returns fire, Will calls for air support, but his initial requests are denied. Will and his team are too close to the village. And then Will learns that his non-commissioned officer, Sergeant First Class Kenneth Westbrook, has been shot in the neck. So Will breaks across 50 meters of open space, bullets biting all around. Lying on his back, he presses a bandage to Kenneth's wounds, with one hand and calls for a medevac with the other, trying to keep his buddy calm. By this time, the enemy has gotten even closer, just 20 or 30 meters away, and over the radio they're demanding the Americans to surrender. So Will stops treating Kenneth long enough to respond by lobbing a grenade. And finally, after more than an hour and a half of fighting, air support arrives. Will directs them to nearby targets. Then it's time to move, so exposing himself again to enemy fire, Will helps carry Kenneth the length of more than 2 football fields, down steep terraces, to that helicopter. And then, in the moment captured by those cameras, Will leans in to say goodbye. But more Americans and more Afghans are still out there, so Will does something incredible. He jumps behind the wheel of an unarmored Ford Ranger pickup truck. A Marine gets in the passenger seat, and they drive that truck, as a vehicle designed for the highway, straight into the battle. Twice they pick up injured Afghan soldiers, bullets whizzing past them, slamming into the pickup truck. Twice they bring them back. When the truck gives out, they grab a Humvee. The Marine by Will's side has no idea how they survived, but he says by that time it didn't matter. We weren't going to leave any soldiers behind. Finally, a helicopter spots those 4 missing Americans hours after they were trapped in the open ambush. So Will gets in another Humvee with a crew that includes Dakota Meyer, and together they drive past enemy fighters, up through the valley, exposed once more. And when they reach the village, Will jumps out, drawing even more fire, dodging even more bullets. But they reach those Americans, lying where they fell. Will and the others carry them out one by one. They bring their fallen brothers home.